Hello, my name is Anisha Ponnapati, and today we're going to talk about the Japan 2018 floods. Japan's 2018 flooding was one of the worst flooding disasters ever. During 2018, there were large amounts of typhoons, and one of the typhoons that occurred near Korea has caused a lot of rainfall, and the remainder of that natural disaster fed into the monsoon season. And then, in addition to the warm air that was coming in from the Pacific Ocean, it ended up with extreme rainfall. The combination of seasonal weather, as well as the side effects of the previous storm, hit Japan with a multitude of rain, which caused a lot of floods and landslides. Japan has one of the highest seismic activities in the world, so they are usually generally prepared for earthquakes, and they make sure that their buildings are quake-proof. However, these regulations and preparedness didn't extend to floods and water-related disasters, but flood-related disasters have been happening for the past couple years. There has been an increase in the frequency of such events. The nation is vulnerable to such disasters because much of the non-city area is usually under construction, so any impending disaster is bound to have a large impact. One of the reasons that flooding occurs so frequently in Japan has been because of its restoration policies that were put into place after World War II. The policies showed that it ended up logging much of the mountains and replanting them with trees. These trees could not hold water as well and easily eroded. This movement ended up making it easier for the country to have floods and landslides. The after effects of the floods had caused a huge societal and economic impact. The floods were so disastrous that there was such a long recovery process afterwards. The floods and landslides killed at least 122 people, and at least 27 people were missing. Almost 2 million people were forced to leave their homes and were displaced. Thousands of houses were damaged and destroyed. 17,000 houses were without power, and the phone lines were down across multiple areas, which made the communication and the recovery process extremely hard and long. It interrupted normal day-to-day life because of so many of the resources and items that were lost and damaged during the floods, which made it really hard for the public to go back to their normal lives. 40,000 rescue workers and 22,000 troops worked throughout the night in order to search for anyone that was lost in the rubble. The flooding was actually a part of a back-to-back disaster flow, from the typhoons to the earthquakes to the flooding, and ended up creating a lot of awareness about climate change and global warming. Experts have stated that the public has become more aware about climate change and has been looking to take actions concerning that. One of the biggest reasons for the flooding was because there was no major levee breach. There was a major levee breach on the river which could have controlled the water to a certain extent. They also added proper watershed flood protection policies afterwards and improved on their communication policies. They took issues into account for regular flooding due to climate change and came up with a strategy to monitor systems and strengthen their critical infrastructure so they can help get people out of harm's way quicker. Thank you so much, and these are the references to the following pictures used in the video.